Hey guys, welcome back. Ryan Stanley, Headmaster Mindset, Teach Me to Sell. A couple of weeks ago, we did a video on the living your adventure every day. And in that video, I asked you guys, what is the definition of adventure? What is your definition of adventure? And I went on to talk about how you could use that to be anything you want. And because we had such positive feedback on that video, in this one, I'm going to give you the actual definition of adventure. Like as by Webster himself. This is what Webster had to say. Because when we figure out what the definition of adventure is, actually, I'll dial it back. Let me tell you where this all came from to begin with. I often say life is an adventure. I talk about it all the time. Life being an adventure, and then if we doesn't, people might say like, I don't know, this happened or that happened. I'm like, well, you know what? Life is an adventure. And I said this to my brother once, actually. My brother Tim, he said, Ryan, what does that even mean? What does it even mean life is an adventure? You say that all the time, but really, what does that mean? And I said, well, Timmy, Jimmy, as I call him sometimes. I said, Timothy James, let's look at adventure. What is adventure? And so the definition of adventure by Mr. Webster is, the most common definition is that it's a noun. And it's an unusual and exciting, typically hazardous experience or activity. I would say that is definitely a comparison to life. And by the way, it can also be a verb, which would be to engage in hazardous and exciting activity, especially the exploration of unknown territory. So let's look at both of these actually real quick while we're here. I'm here, you're here. We're talking about definitions. We're talking about adventure. We're talking about life. We're talking about not just life, but your life. And why this is important, because I know I show up here a little bit silly, a little bit tongue-in-cheek, having some fun with you. But the truth of the matter is that this is your life. And when you woke up this morning, there was gravity, there was oxygen, there was sunlight, just so that you could exist, just so that you could be here as part of this adventure. And so if you were to wake up and think about, okay, today is going to be an unusual and exciting, typically hazardous experience or activity. What could that mean? It could be anything. Are you appreciating life for that? Are we appreciating life for that? When you're waking up in the morning, are you realizing that today is an unusual and exciting experience? It's unusual because the grand schemes of you even existing are 300 trillion to 1. And that's not just based on what it actually takes for a woman to conceive, and that you came out of that, the interaction of your parents. That's also based on your parents' meeting and their parents' meeting and all these different things that came out to be you right here today in this unusual and exciting, typically hazardous experience or activity. This is an adventure. What are you going to do with it? You're going to wake up today and you can do whatever you want. You can show up however you want. You can look at it as the same old thing as it was yesterday, or you can decide that this is an adventure and I'm going to do something about it. I'm going to put on my adventure hat and I'm going to step into my greatness and see what's on the other side, right? See what's on the other side of the river. See what's on the other side of the mountain. See what's on the other side of the jungle. See what happens if I stand up to these lions today and I avoid the snakes and I build a nice fire and I get a good night's sleep under the stars. How is this your adventure? Right? So that's the noun of what this life is and can be. And if you realize that and recognize it, that it is unusual, it is exciting, it can be hazardous. It doesn't have to be, but it can appear that way. And I've got other videos we could talk about how even when things feel hazardous, if you recognize they're actually happening for you, not to you, that adds to the adventure. So, and it is an experience. It is an activity. It is something for you to be active in. Life is an adventure. And if you get tired of just the same old, then you have the choice. Make different decisions, have different conversations, look up information, ask people what gets them excited. Find something in your life. Create an adventure in your own life. So that's the noun. Let's look at the verb real quick. The verb is to engage in an exciting activity, especially the exploration of unknown territory. This is when you get to adventure into life. You get to wake up and decide who you want to be. You get to adventure out into the world. You get to adventure into your career. You get to adventure into a new relationship. You get to adventure into the pursuit of wealth. You get to the adventure into the pursuit of travel of the world. Even if that's just, listen, I'm not saying, oh, yeah, you have to travel the world every day. That's an ideal scenario for many of us, but I get it. We have jobs, we have families, we have other obligations. It doesn't mean you can't make time to adventure into a close, something near. That wasn't even a word, but it was a combination of new and nearby. You have the opportunity to adventure out. Now I will say, it says dated here. Most people just say venture. We venture out, but it's based on the Greek word of adventure. That's not actual accurate science, but you know what I'm saying. Life is an adventure. You have the opportunity to adventure out anytime you see fit. Quit sitting there saying that life is happening to me and this went bad and I had a bad month and this, happened and that happened to me and therefore I can't. There are people who have done less with more. Actually, that's not true. Actually, it's probably true. I don't want you to be the person doing less with more. I'm saying there's people who've done more with less, right? I'm not talking about Les, your buddy. Or my buddy. I have a buddy named Les Gaddis. Big shout out to Les. How's it going? He's a cinematographer. Check out his YouTube channel. In fact, I'll put it in the link below. Anyway, I'm digressing. But I'm digressing because I want you to take a moment to recognize that today is a gift and that you have the choice to decide to do what you want. You have the opportunity to think of this life, this day, this moment right now as an adventure. Yes, you're watching YouTube. Yes, you're watching this. I don't know if you're on your phone or if you're on your computer or wherever the heck you are. But right now, after you quit watching this, once it's over, first subscribe, then like the thing, maybe leave me a comment. Tell me I'm full of it, or tell me why you think this is a good video. Tell me what adventure you've been on, and tell me how this theory, this definition, these definitions of adventure are serving you. That's what the comment section is for. Let me know what you think. I will get back to you. I will agree with you. I will disagree with you. I will comment with you. We will make this thing a conversation. Why is life an adventure? My first video was asking you what your definition of adventure is. I'm giving you now in this video not my definition, though it is also my definition. It's Webster's definition, but I utilize this actual definition when I wake up in the morning and I decide who I want to be. And I have stressful or boring days. If I have moments where I'm just like, I don't feel like doing anything, I was like, wait a second. Or if I'm complaining about anything, a good way to reframe all of that is just to decide that life is an adventure. How can I make it a fun one? How can I make it adventurous? How can I make it exciting? How can I make it thrilling? How can I make it curious? How can I make it different tomorrow from it was today? When you start asking yourself these questions, you start stepping into this each and every day, then life becomes the adventure that it actually is. And when you start to recognize that as the gift that it is, then you start to enjoy the adventure and you become the adventurer. With that, I will let you go on your adventure. May your day be prosperous and adventurous. May you serve others and learn something about yourself. I appreciate you. We appreciate you here stopping by Teach Me to Sell. As I mentioned earlier, like, subscribe, leave a comment. Let us know you're there. Let us know you're live. Let us know you're on the adventure. And we will continue to be on this adventure with you. Thanks for being here. We'll see you next time.